Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, and the Patreon family. We are working. Now, Conor McGregor just did a recent interview, and he spoke with Caroline Pierce with BT Sports. He had some interesting things to say regarding the Mayweather fight, and I'm going to kind of read some captions from it. Now, MMAfighting.com pinned up an article based on this interview, link in the description, and Conor McGregor, his fight with Mayweather took place a few weeks before Canelo versus Triple G. And as you guys know, if you watch Canelo Triple G, it was a good fight. But there was a scorecard from Adelaide Bird, who was the judge. She scored it 10 rounds for Canelo, 2 rounds to Golovkin. And it created a lot of controversy. Now it looks like Conor McGregor is just now trying to use that and piggyback off of that controversy. And in this interview, Conor McGregor says, Adelaide Bird's husband is referee Robert Byrd. That's all I'll say on that. Meaning, Robert Byrd was the ref for Mayweather McGregor. That's her husband. But to me, let me keep going with what he says, and then I'm going to give my thoughts. He also said that he felt that referee Robert Byrd was kind of giving him the instructions, but not Mayweather. He says, and I quote, when we came face to face and we were doing the rules thing, he was only staring at me. I'm looking at him, staring at me, and I could only see in my peripheral vision that he was looking at me and not looking at Floyd. I was going to say, he's fighting as well, mate. Give him the fucking rules. I don't know what's going on there. Every time we tied, he literally wrestled me off of Mayweather. It is what it is. I knew I wasn't going to get a fair shake out there. Then he talks about the stoppage. He says, referee Robert Byrd jumped in at the first sign of a wobble. I thought it was an early stoppage. How the fuck can you stop a fight if there were no knockdowns or nothing previously? The round before, I had almost had him dropped. I hurt him to the body in the round before. How the fuck can you stop it like that at the first sign of wobble? You got to let these fights go on. So I just want to talk about that aspect of it, of what he said. And to me, it's kind of disappointing because I was at the fight and I liked how Conor McGregor took his loss. He says, I'll take this one on the chin. We had fun in there. I got a handsome paycheck from this event. And he took the high road. But now, probably a month later or so, he's coming out with this. You know what I mean? A little over a month maybe from the fight, he's coming up with this. And it sounds like a bunch of conspiracy theories. Really what it sounds like to me, it sounds like people, fans, or inner circle people, this is what they were feeding to Conor. Oh, you were doing good. You were kicking Mayweather's ass. And the referee jumped in early and stopped it. This sounds like what casuals say in the comment section. Because I see this all the time. Covering boxing and some MMA is like, sometimes the fighters get influenced by the popular opinion or what people are saying. Oh, you were beating Floyd and you hurt him to the body. I've already talked about the body shot. Watch the Showtime All Access epilogue, and it looked low to me. You know what I'm saying? And he's still banking on that because that's what a lot of the casuals are saying. Oh, you had him hurt. That's what Skip Bayless is saying. You know what I mean? So to me, I feel like the fight's over. You collected money. You're still in good health. It's just, I personally don't like. And then, like, let's talk about the Robert Byrd. Now he's trying to, because there's controversy with Robert Byrd's wife, which I understand in that fight, that was a controversial scorecard. There's no two ways about it. I was at that fight too. And I told you guys, for me, I mean, I don't understand how you can give either Canelo or Golovkin 10 rounds in that fight. It was a tooth and nail close fight, depending on what you like, but no one deserved 10 rounds over the other person. Right? But now somehow Conor McGregor is trying to correlate his fight because she's married to Robert Byrd, and it sounds like he's trying to make it allude to there was some foul play. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he was only giving me the instructions. I mean, even if that's how you felt, you're the foreign fighter. You're a fighter, but you're not under the boxing rule set. So, I mean, that to me, doesn't show favoritism or anything. You were the guy. Floyd, Robert Byrd has refereed Floyd fights before. He knows Floyd. Everybody knows Floyd in boxing. You know what I'm saying? So if it looked like he was staring at you, it just sounds like a cop-out. You know what I mean? If he was staring at you, it's probably because you're the guy who's out of their element. You know what I mean? So he wants to make sure you are familiar with the rules, right? More so than Floyd. Floyd's been boxing since he was 6 years old. It comes from a fight family. Floyd knows the rules. And I mean, you can nitpick and say, oh, he uses his elbows to push off. But I mean, other than that, he's a pretty clean boxer. He doesn't get his wins and victories from weight advantages and pushing people's head down, hammer fisting and rabbit punch. He doesn't do that. He does clean work in there. So, you know what I'm saying? Even if that's how you felt, the reason is probably because you're not a boxer. And this was the first time that the world has really seen on this level in prime boxer fight an in prime MMA fighter. So they don't know. No one really knew how Conor would look in there. You know what I mean? He boxed as a kid, then he got into mixed martial arts, and then that's where his career was. So yeah, I mean, that doesn't really prove anything to me. But Adelaide Byrd has nothing to do with your fight. You got stopped. Adelaide Byrd turned in a terrible scorecard for Canelo Triple G. So I just think it's kind of a scapegoat way to go out. Like, he just started listening to people who were like apologists and telling them, oh, you were doing good, you hurt him to the body, and now he's doing an interview saying that. And I just feel like you already got stopped. And in my honest opinion, why wait a month and a half to bring this up? Because when the referee stopped it, I don't really remember Conor complaining too much. You know what I mean? Just like Kovalev in the Ward 2 fight. And that's a telltale sign that he was probably exasperated and he knew he was the fight was getting taken out of him. And I mean, honestly, no one can predict exactly what would have happened if it were to continue. But just from a realistic probability stance, you're in there with a veteran, you're out of your element, you're tired, you're in there with someone who's walking you down and you haven't figured out a way from that. Even Conor McGregor's own team has said post-fight, oh, we didn't expect Floyd to walk him down. That's what? You're boxing him in front of millions, and that was never you. See, again, that shows me that the corner is not advanced when it comes to boxing. Because why? They probably believed all that shit. Oh, Floyd's pillow fisted, and he's a pillow puncher, brittle hands, because that's what Conor was saying. So that's the only reason I can think of. You underestimated him, which is why you didn't think he was capable of walking you down. I don't even understand why that would not be why that's an afterthought, and that wouldn't be something that you would plan for. But again, Conor thought he was just this big bad. I'm much bigger, I'm younger, I'm stronger, I bounce heads off canvases, and you underestimated the man. It got walked down. But anyway, besides that, you got stopped. And like I said, nothing. He looked terrible in the round 9. He looked like he was going to get stopped in that round, taking big shots. And this is boxing. It's not the UFC. You don't have to let someone get knocked down. I've seen plenty of fights where the fight's being taken out of you and you're defenseless. You know what I mean? I don't remember off the top of my head, but Brandon Rios versus Mike Alvarado, I'm not sure if Mike Alvarado actually went down. You know what I mean? Because I know when he got stopped, he was up on his feet. But it was too many unanswered punches, and it was a war. So, I mean, you could say the same thing there. Why didn't you let Mike Alvarado continue? It was a war. Maybe he could have pulled it out. But that's why the ref is in place, to use their discretion and executive decision-making and judgment and protect the fighter. And if you don't, everybody, Kovalev, Ward 2, Conor versus Floyd, if you're in there and it's looking like that, and you're not really doing anything, you're not countering, and you're just taking big shots, it's gonna get stopped. So to me, that's all stuff you have to plan for. But I think the bigger problem is Conor McGregor's team. He didn't have a boxing team. He should have clearly got with Robert Garcia or somebody who could at least give him boxing advice. I mean, fuck having Joe Cortez referee and stuff like that. That's cool, but that's additional. You needed boxing expertise, not just John Cavagna and people. And it's no shade to them, but it's just they're two different sports for a reason. So just because they're great at what they do in MMA doesn't mean that they're great at boxing only coaching. It's two different sports. I mean, look at Ronda Rousey. Look at her, Edmond, or what. Have moment. What boxing coach have you seen when their fighter's getting destroyed and that's all they say? Have moment. Have moment. Have moment. No! Like, who does that? You know what I mean? So, two different sports. Me personally, I like good sportsmanship, and I would have preferred Conor just left it with the remarks he did immediately. Promote his whiskey. They're talking about Nate Diaz rematch, a third one in December or something. I mean, just move on to bigger and better things, or use the momentum, learn what you can. But all this complaining about the stoppage sounds like people are feeding him stuff and like trying to give him participation points. But the whole Adelaide Bird, you're not going to use the Canelo versus Golovkin controversy, which literally, other than the birds, you know what I mean, being married, literally had nothing to do with your fight. But it's like he's trying to piggyback off that and siphon off that. Oh, but that's Adelaide Bird's husband, because you know Adelaide Bird is not in a favorable light. But again, you got stopped. Triple G, Canelo went the distance. So that's up for debate on how you scored that fight. Again, I don't think either fighter deserved 10 rounds, but you got stopped. So Robert Bird had nothing to do. Me personally, I didn't see. Actually, there were some moments where he was allowing. See, and that's the thing. That's why I prefer Conor didn't go down this road. Because if you really want to be truthful, I thought Robert Bird wasn't even doing a spectacular job of making this clean. You know what I mean? When Conor kept taking Floyd's back and he was hammer fisting, I thought Bird, you know what I mean? He's making it like Bird was just jumping in. I thought Bird should have jumped in when he was Floyd specifically. They show you all this on the All Access epilogue. He said, do you have anything to say before the fight? He's like, nah. The only thing is, I don't want no rabbit punching. Everything else is cool. Just don't hit me in the back of the head. That's what Floyd said. And I thought Conor was doing that a lot. And Robert Bird was kind of allowing. And it made it intriguing. You know what I mean? It made it more entertaining because it was rougher stuff. But, I mean, truth be told, I think Conor should just focus on what's next. Because you're trying to make an issue out of nothing with this interview. Oh, I didn't even get knocked down. Well, it looked like you're on your way to get knocked down. And I'm getting sick of it in boxing, man, where it's all this like poor sportsmanship. Like, people can't just take the fade. You know what I mean? Kovalev, oh, the referee, low blows, and Tony Weeks, and now it's Robert Bird and Adelaide Bird's fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like nobody can take a clean. No one. I understand losing. I'm very competitive. I hate losing, but come on, man. You know what I mean? It's like people are always trying to create like some controversy that's really not even a controversy. Like I said, Canelo Golovkin, I thought it was a close fight. The scorecard itself was controversial, but scoring it for Canelo, that's not that controversial. It's controversial that you scored it for him having that many rounds. That's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? But it's like all these big fights. Look at it. Every fight I just named, all fights from this year, people try to keep throwing. If it doesn't go their way, they throw in various things. Adelaide Bird and Robert Bird only gave me instructions and I didn't get knocked down. And Kovalev was like, Ward hit me in the dick. We got to get back to good sportsmanship. And I really didn't see any major discrepancy with Robert Bird. So the Adelaide Bird, to me, that's just way off the mark. He's just using that because they're married. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.